There is a fish I've been chasing for the last 2 episodes now. The white sea bass. They live in the kelp beds off Southern California, and they have this way of appearing exactly where you weren't looking, and disappearing before your brain finishes processing what you just saw. 2 episodes, 2 trips, nothing to show for it. So today, Luke and I are going to the islands.
He's there.
Luke landed a big boy!
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
2 a.m. starts. This is what it's all about. Let's go, just the boys today. Should be an amazing day. Conditions look good. It's actually pretty warm though. So it's 2 a.m. But feeling good. It's gonna be exciting, man. Nice easy drive up north. Now made it to the boat launch. Just got the boat in the water. Gear is loaded up. It's just me today. Unfortunately, Grace is not feeling well. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I miss you, and I'm gonna be thinking about you on every drop. This does not feel right diving without Grace, but nevertheless, we need to get a white sea bass. That's the mission for the day. Big old white sea bass. I've heard the bluefin have popped up on the backside of Cat, so we're gonna give that a rip. But stoked, man. This should be a great day. We are fired up to get back in the water. Catalina is an island about 20 miles off the coast of Southern California. Steep drop-offs, deep water with great access to depth, kelp forests growing on rock that drops away fast. It's white sea bass country. It's also completely unfamiliar to me. I've dove it twice now. I don't have 20 years of local knowledge here. I can't tell you which rock the fish sit on in July, which is actually the whole point of this video, because most of what I do isn't secret spots. It's reading water I've never seen before and figuring out, hopefully quickly, where a fish would want to be. The plan is 4 spots over 1 full day. We start early, we work the kelp, we adapt, and if the sea bass don't show, we hunt whatever the ocean's actually offering. I'll tell you now, the day does not go how I wanted it to, but it teaches a lot about shot placement, about finding structure, about how to manage a big fish, about the difference between a diver who's been in the water 3 hours and a diver who's been in the water 8. And about my camera work, which, I'll be honest with you up front, is some of the worst in the sport. Around a 45-minute crossing, we made it to the first spot.
The reason we're here today is because I'm kind of pissed off at the Dolmans for not shooting a white sea bass yet. These kids got to shoot a white sea bass. So Grace is sick, that's fine, Luke is here, and Luke is going to shoot a white sea bass today.
Today's the day, dude. We just need to verify they exist. Once we verify
I know they exist, bro.
I don't, yeah, I mean, you talk out of your
I sent
ass.
photos. Right there.
AI.
Out, right
AI.
there. There's AI. There's AI. Yeah, so were the videos, so he's going to insert those videos right here.
Outside edge of the kelp, morning light, and the water's better than I expected. I always take a minute before I load the gun. Just floating, looking down, letting my breathing settle, and let the water tell me what it's doing. These few moments allow me to acclimate to a new environment, and being comfortable is the single most important thing to having a successful day. In these first few minutes, I'm taking everything in. Which way the current's going, where's the kelp leaning, is there bait, is there any life around, or does it look dead down there? That minute isn't wasted time. That minute decides how this dive is going to go. Less than 2 minutes in, and a huge school of yellowtail comes straight up the edge of the kelp line. Small fish, definitely not what I'm really here for, and I take the shot anyway. Let me explain that, because it's a real decision and I made it fast. There are 2 situations where I'd shoot a smaller fish like this. First, it's at the start of the day, and there's nothing on the boat. Second, it's at the end of the day, and there's nothing on the boat. Everything in between, I'd normally let it swim. The first situation matters more than people think. A fish on the boat changes how you hunt for the entire rest of the day. Getting on the board puts you in a unique situation, one that opens the door to landing bigger fish. You get the luxury of patience. You can outweight fish, let smaller members of the school swim by while you wait for the bigger one in the back. When the cooler is empty, you fall into a little bit of desperation phase as the day goes on. You start rushing things, forcing a longer shot than you probably should have. You stop being patient because patient feels expensive. You start hunting from a place of need, pushing fish off spots while getting flustered. One fish on ice removes all of that. Now the day is already not a failure. Now I can spend 2.5 minutes on the bottom, waiting for a sea bass that might never come. And I'm completely relaxed about it, because all of that pressure is gone. This is how a brain works under pressure, and a calm diver will outfish an anxious one every single time. This was my first encounter with a yellowtail on the reef, and seeing how the school reacted to my movements taught me how I'll hunt them moving forward. They're curious, that goes without saying, but they do respond to size. I could have easily crowded the school and pushed them off. Finding that middle ground and toying with the closest point of approach, or CPA, and gently getting as close as I can without spooking the school. I'm analyzing their movements, trying to figure out this species tell. With uku or green jobfish, for example, they'll charge, throw on the brakes, and turn broadside around 10 feet away. Check you out, then they won't get that close again. That first pass is exactly what I'm looking for. As they slow down and turn, that's my cue. As I spend more time with yellowtail, I'm starting to figure out that cue. Gracie, I love you so much. It's so beautiful. I wish you were here. You'd love it. Sunshine shining on the kelp. Oh my gosh, I miss you. So what am I reading specifically? Current direction. Look at the lean of the kelp. The strands bend downstream. Fish sit on the upcurrent side of structure, facing into it, because that's where food comes from. So if the kelp's leaning north, I hunt the south side of it. Water clarity, easily 30, maybe 40 feet. Clarity is time. It can also be your biggest enemy. When hunting species like dogtooth tuna in places holding over 40 meters of viz, you'll often see guys struggling to close the gap. That clear water will extend a fish's comfortable CPA, closest point of approach like we talked earlier, and bounce off, out of range before you can close the gap. It also creates a depth perception issue. For a lot of new guys, this is the #1 mistake I see. Not having a good point of reference will throw your depth perception out of line and cause you to think a fish is small and close to you, when in reality it's the biggest fish you've ever seen and it's just very far away. Don't ask me how I know. What I look for, or my tell, especially in blue water, is the fish's eye. When I can clearly see the outline of the target's eye cleanly making out the orbital region, I know I'm within range. The next is depth. I'm in about 55 feet here. The stringer is just where the sand meets the rocks. A perfect example of what I'm looking for. A good general rule of thumb around the world is you're looking for any pieces of change. Predator fish will be patrolling this alley, dipping in and out of the reef. And life. This is one people forget. Are there small fish around? Is there bait? Is there anything happening? A gorgeous piece of structure with nothing living on it, unfortunately, is just scenery. I'd rather hunt an ugly patch of rock with bait stacked on it than the prettiest kelp bed in the world sitting empty. And then about an hour later, Luke shoots the fish of the day. I want to spend real time on this one, because what happens over the next 4 minutes is the single most useful thing in this entire video. It looks calm. It looks almost boring. That's exactly why you should watch it closely, and frankly, learn from this encounter. Luke's been working a line of stringers on the downcurrent edge. He's doing something I want you to notice. He's not swimming around looking for fish. He's picking a spot, dropping, and waiting. Internationally, we would call this the espeto technique, or a static ambush. He's utilizing techniques so the fish comes into him and not the other way around. The yellowtail comes in from off the drop-off, out in the sand, onto the reef, looking for the struggling fish that Luke is imitating by scratching the reef and throwing out grunts.
How was your shot?
Luke hunted these fish from the bottom, perched in a shadow of the rock, similar to how you would stalk an elk on land. He had part of his view blocked by the rock, so couldn't see this yellowtail closing in. As he lifts up from the bottom, after a longer dive, he kicks up towards the surface and gets charged by this 35-pound fish. Luke shoots a midline, through the shoulder, just behind the gill plate, angled out and away. A fantastic holding shot. He knows that, And that knowledge is what makes everything that follows possible. Since Luke shot it on the way up, he doesn't have to give this fish much line to get to the surface. Regardless, the yellowtail does try and run, and does what a big yellow always does.
Good shit, dude.
Dude, that was the coolest hunt ever.
On the way up.
Right before I shot it.
What?
I turned my GoPro off right before I fucking cast.
He goes straight into the kelp and wraps. This is where people lose fish, not in the shot, but the moments following. What a wrapped fish actually means is this: your shaft, your line, and your fish are now in a mechanical system most of the time you cannot see. The fish can use this as mechanical advantage and pry itself free, either ripping through the shaft or shooting line, or even using the tangle as leverage in disengaging the flopper. There's tension somewhere, and you don't know if that tension is on bone, on meat, or on a kelp stalk. You also don't know if the flopper is properly engaged on the opposite side. So, as this fish is tangled shallow, I dive down and inspect it. Here's the principle, and this is the part I most want people to hear. The diver on the gun should not be the one making the first assessment dive. He can dive later, once he has rested and you've got a better understanding of the situation. 2 reasons. The first is physical. Luke has hold of the line. He's managing tension, and if he lets go or dives with it, he loses feel and he can push slack into the system.
He's super green.
At exactly the wrong moment. Somebody needs to stay connected to that fish.
He's pretty big, huh?
He's a fucking big fish, dude.
He's pretty big, bro.
In the very beginning of the fight, he's also the only one who knows if the shot placement is good or not. The first thing you'll hear me asking him is, how is the shot placement? That will obviously determine how we manage the rest of the fight. I come up and I report back to Luke.
Both floppers are like proper in there. Both floppers deployed, it's a good shot.
With no wasted action, no stress-induced decision-making, or any rash movements, we both calmly assess the situation a little further. This is where advanced spearfishing ethics come into play, and it varies diver to diver. I was not about to go down there, tug and horse on this fish, and potentially losing my buddy's trophy. Instead, by taking a few recon dives, I've gained valuable knowledge of the situation that I've shared back on the surface with Luke, and I've allowed him time to acclimate, get his heart rate back down, and now he is ready to make a recovery dive on his own fish. I'm always a big proponent of, if you can, place a second shot. We both use a quick release knot, and you can check out our Patreon for a full breakdown on how we tie this knot. What this allows is for a quick and easy disengagement of one of our shafts. So in this situation, if it was my fish, I would have asked Luke to simply place a second shot, preferably from underneath the fish's head and out, up through the throat area, similar to an uppercut punch. We do this all the time to calm doggies down. The shot will end the fight immediately. However, Luke didn't feel it was necessary in this situation, and as he is a lot more experienced than me untangling fish and kelp, he calmly dove and retrieved his fish. The second is psychological, and it's actually more important. Luke has just shot a 35-pound fish. His heart rate is up. When you shoot a big fish, something happens to your body that you don't choose and cannot switch off. The moment the shaft lands, your nervous system makes a decision before you do. Sympathetic activation, fight or flight. Your adrenal glands release adrenaline. Heart rate climbs. Blood pressure rises. Airways open. Blood gets pulled away from your gut and your skin and pushed toward your heart and the muscles you're about to use. Your body has just prepared you for violent, immediate effort. And it's right to. That response is older than we are. We evolved as hunters on land. For as long as humans have existed, the moment of the kill was the moment everything was decided. The animal is wounded, it's running, it's dangerous, and whether your family eats depends on what your body does in the next 30 seconds. So we were built with a system that floods you with everything you need exactly then. Strength, speed, tunnel vision, a complete indifference to pain and fatigue. That system has kept us alive for over 2 million years. It has one assumption built into it. It assumes you can breathe. Every part of that response is designed around unlimited air. Your heart rate goes up because on land, a faster heart moving more oxygen is free. You just breathe harder. Adrenaline makes you feel capable of more because on land, more is available. Underwater, on a single breath, that response is working directly against you. You have a fixed amount of oxygen. It was decided the moment you left the surface. There is no resupply, and your body has just, without consulting you, dramatically increased the rate at which you're spending it. There's a second thing happening at the same time, and this is what makes it complicated. As a freediver, you have another ancient system running, the mammalian dive reflex. Facing cold water, breath hold, and your heart rate drops. Blood shifts to your core. Your body starts conserving oxygen deliberately because it recognizes you're underwater. So at the moment you shoot a big fish, you are running two contradictory programs at once. One is trying to save your oxygen, the other is trying to spend all of it, right now, on the animal in front of you. Adrenaline is louder, and adrenaline always wins. This is where the job of a professional starts, and it isn't what people think. You don't eliminate the adrenaline, you can't. Anyone telling you they don't get it either isn't shooting big fish or isn't being honest. Elite divers have the same chemistry as everyone else. What you build instead is a procedure that runs on top of those systems, something you can execute while activated because it was decided when you weren't. The failure I see most often isn't panic, it's much quieter than that. It's a diver who let the situation overwrite the dive plan. The fish appears and attention narrows onto it completely. You stop being aware of depth, of time, of the line around your arm, of how you actually feel. Tunnel vision is not a metaphor here. It's a psychological effect, and it will delete the rest of the world for you. So you work against it deliberately. Keep your movements economical. No explosive effort if you don't need it. Use the fish's own movement instead of fighting it. Use the structure. Stay mechanically lazy and cognitively awake, which is the exact opposite of what your body is asking for. And you keep one thing above everything else in the hierarchy. If the situation stops being safe, the fish is not the priority. Breathing is. You let go of the gun, you let go of the fish, and you go up. There's no fish worth losing consciousness underwater for. Not one. Not the best one you'll ever see. So when people ask what separates the best spearfishermen, they usually expect the answer to be breath hold. It isn't. The skill is staying organized inside your own head while your body is in full revolt, while it's flooding you with chemistry designed for a completely different kind of hunt, on land, with air, 100,000 years ago. Feeling all of that, recognizing exactly what it is, and making the correct decision anyway. The fish comes up, Luke grabs him by the gills, controls the head, and the fight is over. It looks and sounds like nothing happened. That's kind of the point. What you watched is two people who have done this 1,000 times, executing a sequence where the correct action at every single step was slower and calmer than the instinct. Dive and check instead of pull. Assign the check to the person without the adrenaline. Steady pressure instead of a heave. Communicate calmly before you act. 35 pounds. What a beautiful fish, Luke. And landed on even a better dive. And I want to be clear. Luke earns that fish before the trigger squeeze, with the dive, with executing the espeto, and eventually with the shot placement. Everything after is just calmly working through the situation you put yourself in when you pulled the trigger. I could see this turtle from the surface, pretty cool to see one in California waters. I took a quick drop to try to get him on the GoPro. To my surprise, a little yellow came in. This is a form of interspecific hunting cooperation. Two completely different species are working together, each exploiting the other's strengths. One animal locates, pursues, or flushes the prey, while the other positions itself to take advantage of the opportunity. Neither species is necessarily commanding the other. Instead, both are responding to the same opportunity, creating a temporary partnership that makes hunting more effective for both. Pretty rad experience. This guy was on the smaller side, so I let him swim.
We've been in the water for less than an hour, and we're both on the board.
I'm kind of on the board. I chalked in a little something.
No, he's there. Luke, he's there. He's
Luke landed a big boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. No, that's every bit of 30.
At least.
Every bit
every
of
day.
30. Yeah.
Every day.
Like maybe more. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like talking my fish up, you know? Like guys are like, yeah, that's a 40-pounder, and it's like, bro, that thing's 22. It's like,
no, that's a good fish. Every day, Luke. I hopped in the first 10 seconds and we got a yellow.
Yeah. You were swimming back to the boat. Yeah. I'm like, bro, you didn't do anything. You just like, you're like right here. You're like, I got a fish. I'm like, oh, okay.
Shot him at like 5 feet, but other than that, we haven't seen much. So we're now just debating on whether we should change or should we stay. You don't want to leave fish to find fish, but you can't be afraid to move. So.
Well, there's all these little kelp bunches, and like I do like this area, and the sport boats are here. You know, so it's like we're kind of in our own little zone here, but. I say we punch up a little bit and look at some of these, and I'll just like hot drop you. Like, some of them are really small patches of kelp, and you'll be like, what is this? And it's like, dude, I'll send you and be like, go. Just 15-20 minutes. Hit the outside, hit the inside, come back. Next, you know, and do it that way. So
sweet,
cool.
Good start of the day, dude.
Yeah. So stoked. So stoked.
This next spot is a point that bends around into a small bay, and inside of 30 seconds, a much better yellowtail comes up to me. 15, maybe 17 pounds. A much better fish this time. Small duck dive to drop down to his level. He turns broadside at about 7 feet away. Perfect angle, right on the gill plate. Finger on the trigger, and my camera dies. Right then, that exact second, that beep goes off, just as I'm lining up on the fish. All right, hopped in, second spot, like 5 seconds in, little yellow came swimming in on me.
5 seconds in, I was on top. He was like this, and he was like this, and then he was like this, and I'm like, it's either a shark or he sees a fish. And then he dove, and I was like, it's a fish. A couple seconds later, it just says, on. It's like, yeah, he was on. Hell yeah, brother.
A little better than the first one, but the second I was lining up on the fish, and the freaking camera battery died, so we're gonna switch to.
That's twice now.
I know.
That's 2 fish. We need to make up. They're gonna not believe us.
I know. Just gotta show them the cooler.
Yeah, we'll show them the cooler later. There it is.
Okay, we're going back in. So I shot that yellow on that point there, went back to the boat, dropped off the fish, and now I'm working. So I worked down this kelp line, diving the deep edge of the kelp, and now I'm working my way back and through the shallows, hoping to find that ghost. Spot number 2 was a great success. We both saw quite a few yellowtail. Managed to get one in the boat, but still no white sea bass sightings. So we've moved a little bit down the coast. Water's a little murkier than we expected, so we're gonna readjust here real quick. 5 more hours, spots 3 and 4, 2 more drifts back through the kelp at spot 1. No white sea bass. I want to talk about this part honestly, because this is most of spearfishing and almost none of spearfishing videos. Hour 6 is where most people's hunting quality collapses. And here's the thing, it doesn't collapse dramatically. Nobody just quits. What happens is much quieter than that. Your dives get shorter by around 15 seconds. You stop settling properly on the bottom and start hovering a bit off it, just to dive a little bit shallower. You get slightly sloppy on your descent, a bit of extra kicking. You stop waiting the full time at each ambush spot because waiting when nothing has happened for 5 hours kind of feels absurd. And the killer, you stop believing a fish is coming. And a diver who doesn't believe a fish is coming is not actually hunting. He's swimming around with a gun. The fix is not motivation. Motivation always runs out. The fix is process and discipline. I hunt each dive as its own thing. I don't carry hour 4 into hour 5. Every drop I run the same routine. Settle, hide, stop, wait, scan, leave with some margin. If the routine is right, the dive is a good dive, whether or not a fish shows up. That's the only thing I'm actually in control of, and controlling what you can control in a chaotic environment is the only way you can find success. On the way back home, we run slow and scan for kelp patties. A patty is a chunk of kelp that's torn loose and is floating free in the open water. And in the open ocean, a patty is an oasis. It's the only structure for miles. Also, my second camera is now at about 2%. I'd like to say I've learned something today, but I have not. You run past most patties. You only stop on a few. Here's the difference. A few strands on the surface holds almost nothing. What you want is a patty with real mass, a raft of it, several feet across, with depth The part that matters isn't the part you can see from the boat. It's what's hanging below. A patty with 2 or 3 feet of kelp trailing underneath is a completely different thing from a flat mat on the surface. That hanging kelp is the actual habitat. Shade. Big patties throw a real shadow, and that shadow is the entire attraction. We find the one that has it all. Big, thick, deep structure underneath, with a few birds on top of it. You can see the bait stacked in the shade. I slip in about 40 meters updrift and swim in slow. And he comes straight into me. 27 pounds of yellowtail, coming in straight off the patty, no hesitation at all. And there's a second one with him. Smaller, but still a good fish. Duck dive, level with him, let the bigger one come. Line up broadside, and guess what? Second battery goes. Lovely. I shot the fish double gill plate, and the fight lasted less than a minute. As I'm gutting this fish, the second yellowtail is still there, still hanging on the patty, so I reload as fast as I physically can. Under 3 minutes, the fish is gutted on the boat, and I'm already reloaded, lining up on the second fish with the camera that gave up on me.
What we got going on here is this guy just 1-2'd fish on that patty right there. Oh, he's gonna lose it. Ladies and gentlemen, we might witness Monsieur Dolmans lose a fish. Control your yellowtail. Come on now. You're a 6'4" professional athlete. He's a 20-pound fish.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Control the fish. You're a 6'4" athlete.
I got him.
Okay, good. Jiminy Christmas. Took you long enough. All right, I'd like to point out that that's my patty right there. And this guy just rolled up between me and my patty right there. But it's okay, because Monsieur Dolmans got both the yellers. Oh, brah.
Oh, brah.
Oh, that's a tank, eh?
It's not a bad fish.
Bro, they're both tanks. Nice.
Of course, no footage.
Heck yeah. Ew, look at those. Yeah, I gotta go wide angle here, bro. These things are too big. Yeah! You're supposed to unzip the bag first.
Oh no.
Now you got slime all over my deck.
That's why I'm
Jiminy
here.
Christmas.
That's why I'm here to clean it up.
Jiminy Christmas. That's true. We got enough. It's a good thing we grabbed like 150 pounds of ice, because there's a lot of yellers in there.
I'm fucking stuck.
Bro, that's a big
Big
freaking
fish.
fish.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah! Where are we going?
White Seabass back to the island.
We went back to that for Seabass. Gonna get a California double by way of 19, yeah, or whatever we got now. Who knows how many. We lost count. Fish rope for the win. Fish rope for the win. See, kids, it's kind of hard to get around this little thing here with this roof right here, because we're both huge, tall men. So we got the fish rope. And the fish rope just dangle it over the side, and you hook your fish up to it, and you pull it up, and there's no blood on the bone.
But dude, I've shot 60-kilo doggies and not 20-pound yellow.
Yeah, whooped you, eh?
Holy shit, I'm tired.
That was awesome.
But man, let's go.
Look at that thing, dude.
Sick.
Yes. Yes.
2 beautiful yellowtail off 1 patty in about 6 minutes. Every single frame of which was recorded by a GoPro with a dead battery. Fresh battery, camera fully charged, ready, working perfectly. We stop on 2 more patties, and of course, just some small yellows on both. Little snack-sized ones. Time to go home, back to Grace, who I missed oh so much.
Nothing crazy about 2 men on a boat doing a post-dive interview, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.
How's the day, Luke?
I mean, it didn't get much better. I don't know how we're gonna get this thing out of here, bro. Like, it's so way down with fish.
It's a great problem.
Easily over 100 pounds of fish today.
It's a great problem.
Easily. So, we went to the islands like men. We ended up on patties like wimps. But we shot a lot of fish today, and I'm very happy about it. You shot a lot of fish. I shot a tanker, and I was kind of happy with that. But we got it done.
Try for white sea bass.
Do you get the island thing now?
We do, of course.
You get it.
That's the way to go. Yeah. It is definitely the way to go.
I've been like barking at it, and
it's the way to go. It's
just,
a different level. It feels like you're in it.
It's more fun too.
And
you see more fish. And you're not just sitting on the back of a boat.
100%.
But is it worth paddy hopping coming home?
Absolutely. Always a chance at a mahi.
Never know.
We thought we saw one, dude. We thought we saw one. It was a little baby yellow. But
yeah, I was like, oh, there's a mahi. It's like, it's big, but it's a mahi. Like, kill it now.
I promise you, my heart was racing on that one.
Oh, that was good times.
But the white sea bass, dude, it's a grind. It's a different type of grind. Like it's unique in its own way. It's hard. It's definitely harder than I thought it would be.
It is and it isn't.
You're hunting that like 8 to 12 meter range, and it's just from a buoyancy perspective, it's odd.
Yes.
Struggling in the surge, getting pushed back and forth, and you end up doing like 40 or 50 dives. Like it's crazy.
And there are people that go deep. Like I got 2 this year. One was at 30 feet, and then another one was at like 50 or something like that.
That's the dream.
So
a 60-foot white.
It was
crazy.
It just depends where they are. Yeah. And we saw the sign today. We would have seen them if they were there because the signs were all there. The current was right. The bait was right.
The bait was good.
Everything was good. It's just it might be too late in the season, bro.
Yeah, really, eh?
It might be too late in the season. I don't know. I don't know. I am unaware. But
regardless, amazing day. Grace, we miss you.
Yeah, Grace, we do miss you. We're gonna get you out here on Little Monster
100%
very soon.
We got some little hamachi coming your way.
A little?
A little bit.
She got hamachi for the year, bro.
Hamachi for days coming your way, Gracie. Okay, we love you. See you soon. We'll be back at the crib cooking these things up, making some nice.
Yeah, I want to see the cook video.
Some nice sushi going on here.
Look at this.
Dude, I'm not even needed.
I'm saying I'm really good at this.
I'm not even needed.
I'm ridiculously good at this. Just hold on to this little boat right here. You don't need ropes, but.
Luke, you're an absolute legend, brother. Thanks for putting us on the fish, dude. We appreciate it, brother. It's epic. California dreaming. It's kind of crazy though. Me and Luke were talking, and since I've met Grace, outside of my time spent in Africa, since I've met Grace, this is my second time being in the water without her, and it's just so weird how you get like so dependent on someone, and in the best way possible. Like Grace knows me better than anyone, and she knows how I dive and what my limits are, and that gives me a great sense of safety and a safety net to kind of push myself. So when I'm out here just by myself or with somebody that doesn't really know how I dive, it's a very unique feeling to kind of have to rein it in a little bit. But Gracie, I love you so much. This is like heartbreaking that I can't get to share this with you, but I can't wait to share the food with you, mine. The food. Boat's getting nice and clean. What a day.
Let me see. That's good, it's good.
Okay.
Wait. Whoa. Okay, you don't have to touch him. It's fine. Wow.
Baddies. Looks like a big fish. Good job, Luke. We are the day after the strike mission. So Luke, of course, managed the fish of the day. And we're gonna get a weight on it right now. Got this thing slushed up with some salty water and some ice, but I wanna see how much this thing weighs. Look at the size of that thing, dude. Amazing fish, Luke. Well done, brother. And I came in second place with my little guy. Where is he? Second place out of 2. My consolation prize. Still beautiful fish. And then just popping the knife out.
Luca just did all the fillets, and now I'm just taking paper towels, drying them off, wrapping them up, and then putting them in plastic bags.
Here we go. Okay, we have our beautiful piece of yellowtail that was caught 2 days ago. I'm gonna quickly dice this thing up, and what are we making today, Grace?
Carpaccio!
Grace is back in the episode. She missed us for the actual getting of the fish part of this series, but now she's back in.
Get the yummies.
She's back in play and gonna bring in an incredible recipe for you guys. This is from our buddy Nick. Shout out Nick Bailey Spearfishing. Amazing recipe. We did this with uku and it tasted fantastic. So I'm so excited to try this with yellowtail. We didn't get to try this. We didn't get to do this recipe with our last fish that we caught, so I'm really excited to get this thing going. But here's our fillet, skin on still. Testing a kind of new theory that I have. I will break that down after we consume this. But we're just gonna fly through this thing really quickly. Helps having a sharp knife. Pieces of yellowtail chilled down in the freezer, and then we're gonna eat some chicken nuggets right now and come back in 10 minutes. And Grace is gonna walk you through the rest of the steps for the carpaccio. I thought I was joking about the chicken nuggets, eh?
That's what's really going on.
Chill.
Alright, those chicken nuggets were deleted. Now onto the fancy stuff. We're gonna cut up these limes. We need about like 1 or 1.5 limes. I just don't know how juicy these ones are. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna need 1 lime.
Nice and chill. The dogs know what's up. They always do. Look at this guy, he's roaming. Alright, Grace Catherine, where we at?
Okay. Never done this before.
Okay, we have not done this before.
We're gonna place some onions on there really beautifully. Just let it, I know, just make it look pretty. It's kind of weird.
No, it's fire.
Okay. So then we're gonna take some of these capers. How do I go about this?
I don't know, you're gonna have to figure that one out, but you're on cam.
I'm going
You're going in deep. Let me just spread them out.
knuckles deep in them. Friggin'
Yeah. Yeah.
huge whisk. Whisk together the olive oil. All right, taste test.
Beautiful day on the water produces an amazing dish that we get to share with friends and family. I hope you guys enjoyed that little nerd out session on some spearfishing tips. But now, this is what it all comes down to. Go for it, Gracie.
No, you're first.
No, you go first.
It's your fish. Ready?
Yep. So far, too much lime juice. No, it's really good.
Perfect for me, probably. I can get it.
The capers are fire. You need the capers. Unlike every single other spearfishing channel out there, we're not gonna lie to you, we did not think that was the best meal that we've ever made. So we're gonna redo this. We're gonna go extra olive oil and just the tiniest bit of lime. We have choke salt on there, lots of pepper, and we're gonna get it nice and chilled. So I think too much lime and not chilled enough on the first one. So we're gonna toss this guy
I don't agree.
in the freezer.
I think it's delicious and it's chilled enough. But I'd rather have ceviche.
We need to recreate Nick's carpaccio. That thing was like the best dish I've ever had.
It's been 2 hours and the fish is completely frozen. No,
Kid,
go to bed.
don't worry about that. Take number 2. Because we have to recreate Nick's recipe. Got oh boy. Got capers on there. Drenched in olive oil. Fish is a little bit frozen. But it's fire. So much better.
I don't like it.
Grace
Dogs
isn't
want it.
a fan. I think it's really good. That's the way to go. Just add a dash of lime. Don't add a lot of lime. But cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. And subscribe to the Patreon. Okay, I love you guys.